All right, what is up? We are back once again for our 2022 NFL season breakdown. I picked all 272 regular season games. It gave me some records. I'm going through division by division, team by team, breaking things down for you, what you can expect from this upcoming season for your team, from every other team. We are halfway through. 4 divisions down, 4 divisions to go. We knocked off the NFC South yesterday. I'll put a link up here if you want to check that thing out. But like I said, halfway through. And today we are going over to the AFC East. Big time division. But before we get into it, if you could subscribe to the channel if you're not already, hit that like button. It really helps the channel out a lot. Share this video with your friends. We are growing like crazy. All right, let's get it started, and we're going to head over to the Big Apple with everyone's favorite lovable losers, the New York Jets.
Oh yeah! Let's go, baby! Let's go!
Oh, you Jets. 12 years without making the playoffs. It's amazing to think the last time this team made the playoffs was in the AFC Championship game, led at the helm by Mark Sanchez. It's been a long 12 years. The Jets have been horrible. It's the longest streak in the NFL without making the playoffs by a wide margin. I think 2015 is the next closest. So by 5 years, they have the worst record without making the playoffs. So it's really, really bad. Bring in rookie head coach Robert Saleh last season. Kind of had a bit of a rough go with it. 4-13 record was not what he wanted. One of the worst defenses in the NFL. And that's from a guy who was a defensive coordinator in San Francisco. They brought him in for his defensive prowess. They were not good. Didn't help at all either. They went with a risky first-round quarterback, Zach Wilson. He was out for a good chunk of the middle of the season, but this team did finish slightly on a high note. Wilson showed some real signs of improvement after coming off an injury, and they were really they felt more competitive. They only won one more game towards the end of the season, but they felt competitive. Should have beat the Buccaneers. So kind of a slight high note. The Jets did do a great job this offseason adding key veterans, Jordan Whitehead, CJ Uzomah, and Laken Tomlinson. Absolutely killed it in the draft. Sauce Gardner at corner out of Cincinnati, love him. Garrett Wilson, who I thought was the best receiver in the draft out of Ohio State, and Breece Hall, the running back from Iowa State. Really, really good draft from them. And I know, how many times do I have to say this? I don't know. But everything is going to depend on the quarterback play for this team. It's everything. Now, Zach Wilson, the mommy man himself, Mr. MILF, is at the helm for year 2, and I think he's going to show some real improvement. I think this team is going to be a lot better than you think it's going to be. Now, he has been out. He's dealing with a knee injury, bone contusion, some meniscus tears, had to clean it up. So we're going to be riding with jumping Joe Flacco at the starting quarterback position to start this thing off for the Jets. And we just know what we're going to get out of Flacco. Now, he looked okay in the preseason, but it is the preseason. I would hope a veteran of his, how long he's been in the league, can still get it done. The Jets' schedule is not easy. I'm going to be honest with you. It's pretty bad for a 4th place team. Got to play the AFC and NFC North. Both these teams both these divisions have some decent teams in them. Plus road games at Denver and at Seattle. A game that you clearly win if you're playing in New York, but at Seattle, who the hell knows? I do have the Jets in a slight upgrade, going 6-11, better than last season. If Zach Wilson can live up to his potential and continue to grow, I think next year is the year this team finally puts it all together, makes their push to end their long-standing playoff drought. But it's not this year. 6-11, probably as good as you can expect, and probably not a terrible year if you've been a Jet fan for as long as you have been.
Oh yeah! Let's go, baby! Let's go!
All right, now we're going to mosey on up over to New England, the Patriots. In year 2 without Tom Brady, old Bill Belichick still found a way to manage to get his group back into the postseason. 10-7 on the season, led by rookie quarterback Mac Jones and an absolutely stellar group on defense. We're not going to talk about that buzzsaw they ran into in the first round of the playoffs, their division rival Buffalo Bills. We're just going to forget about that game. The offseason was pretty brutal to the squad, in particular on defense. They lost corner J.C. Jackson, lost Kyle Van Noy, Donta Hightower, Jamie Collins, and Shaq Mason, and pair that with the retirement of James White on offense, their running back. They also lost their longtime offensive coordinator, the play caller, Josh McDaniels, to the Raiders. This is the biggest problem with this team heading forward. Mac Jones is a young quarterback. McDaniels has been in this league calling plays forever. He knows how to mitigate problems. He knows how to game plan around it. And Bill Belichick's going with Matt Patricia, the defensive guy, as the play caller this season. They have no offensive coordinator on this team. I think this is a massive, massive issue. I know there are some words and murmurings like this is going to be a disaster, and people trust Bill Belichick, I think, a little too much. He thinks he can fix it. He thinks he can do it. There are way too many good young head coaches in this league that are so specialized in what they do. Bill, you can't do it all. You really need a play caller to help. Mac Jones has kind of regressed, I'm hearing out of camp. That could be a factor of the offense. They have not been good. The word is not high on them. I think this season is a real problem for the Patriots. I know it's Bill Belichick. I don't think the defense is going to be as good as it was last year. The offense is not going to be able to manage games. I think we have a real issue here in New England. Not to mention their schedule is absolutely brutal. 3 of the first 4 games are on the road, and their home game is against the Ravens. Not anything I want to see matching up at Miami. I think they're at the Packers and at the Steelers. So maybe a win in there, maybe 2, but they play terrible in Miami. Mike Tomlin is a great head coach. He knows what he's doing. And Green Bay, who knows with Aaron Rodgers and that, you're completely outclassed at the quarterback position. This team could really find themselves in a hole early that they really will never be able to dig themselves out of. I might be crazy betting against Bill Belichick this season. He's the greatest coach in NFL history, but I think the lack of an offensive coordinator in a young developing quarterback that's going to rely mostly on the run, they're not going to be good play callers. The defense isn't going to be good as it was last year. I'm going out on a real stretch here. I think the Patriots finished dead last in the AFC East, and they're 5-12. Really bad, and it might spell the end for Bill Belichick as a head coach in this league.
Oh yeah! Let's go, baby! Let's go!
All right, everybody get your chicken wings and your folding tables ready because it's time for your Buffalo Bills. The Bills were a little bit up and down last season. 11-6 was good enough for their second straight AFC East title. Now, we're rolling things back to the 90s, folks, because this is no longer the Patriots division. It's all about this Buffalo Bills because nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. Now, this team spent all of the offseason dreading that 13-second meltdown in Arrowhead against the Kansas City Chiefs that cost them a trip to a second straight AFC title game and honestly quite probably cost them a trip to the Super Bowl. Just a real hard letdown from them. But everyone agrees this is the Bills' year. They're led by superstar quarterback Josh Allen. They have an elite defense that is very good at every level and just bolstered themselves with the addition of future Hall of Famer Von Miller to go get after the quarterbacks. I could not be higher on this Bills team. There are only 2 real questions I have with them. How does the offense adjust to losing play caller Brian Daboll, now the head coach at the New York Giants? And is the pressure going to be too much for this Buffalo team? I think the offense is just going to be fine. Let's just get that out of the way. This is a group that's been together for multiple years now. Stephon Diggs, Gabriel Davis, Singletary feels like he's been there for a while. It just feels like a well-rounded group. Dawson Knox on the edge. It's a strong offensive group. Josh Allen is hitting his stride. I think whoever they put in there, they're going to be able to call plays on this offense. It's going to be easy for them. Now, the one thing that is intriguing to me is the pressure. It's been known to get to a lot of teams, especially teams that aren't necessarily always good. Now, the Bills have been kind of good for a couple of years now. I think 3 out of 4 the last 4 years. 3 out of the last 4 years, they've made the playoffs, something like that. It might be 3 in a row, actually. So this is kind of a well-balanced, experienced team. Now, never thought I would say that again in my lifetime with how bad the Bills have been. Everyone has them winning their Super Bowl. Most people have them, I would say everybody and their mother has them in the Super Bowl, and most people have them winning the Super Bowl. Even the Sharps in Vegas have them as a heavy Super Bowl favorite. And this schedule is not the best. There are so many revenge games and so many prove-it games at Kansas City, at top teams, first place schedule, as you know. But I am a full believer in this Buffalo Bills squad. I got them at 14-3, the number 1 seed in the AFC. The team cruises through the regular season, grabs that first round bye, and is going to have home field throughout. You're going to have to go and deal with the Mafia to get to the Super Bowl this upcoming season.
Oh yeah! Let's go, baby! Let's go!
Okay, time to head on down to South Beach and close this thing out with the Miami Dolphins. After a terrible start last season, the Dolphins found some magic and managed to roll off 8 out of their last 9 games, finished at a very good 9-8, just missed out on the playoffs, but it still wasn't good enough to keep head coach Brian Flores. There was a massive issues in the offseason with this. Lawsuits, this, that, and after their plan to bring in Tom Brady and Sean Payton failed miserably, it cost them a first-round draft pick for trying to tamper. They're rolling with the hip, young, and highly unproven Mike McDaniel at head coach, comes over from the San Francisco 49ers. This guy looks like he's about 12, okay, if you have not seen him before, and it's a big, big risk. The huge move, though, in this offseason for this Dolphins team was trading for Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver, the disgruntled Tyreek Hill, the fastest man in the league, to pair with second-year receiver Jalen Waddle. So they got everything going for them. Everything is set up for Tua and this offense to succeed. This is a do-or-die year for Tua Tagovailoa, especially with all the weapons he has around him. The success of this team really is going to rely on him and the head coach, honestly. The defense is nothing special. They're not going to lose you any games. They're probably not going to win you any games either, but they're on the better end, probably 12 to 13 range. So a very solid defense. They're going to do their job when they need to. You spent a lot of money on the offensive line too, bringing in Armstead over from New Orleans, even though he's a left tackle, but Tua's a lefty quarterback, so you're not really protecting his blind side. Kind of weird. Tua has just been very average, it feels like, not really blowing anyone away, and I was very high on Tua coming out. He does win games, but I just feel like it's not going to do enough to transform this offense with the playmakers they have into a Super Bowl contender. I do think Mike McDaniel is going to be slightly over his skis this upcoming season. I think this was probably a year too early for him to be taking over as a head coach, calling plays, whatever he's going to be doing. I think there are going to be a few games that are going to be completely given away due to the lack of experience. I mean, it's going to be tough for him. I think this is going to be a very disappointing team this season. I think they could flounder a bit, finish a disappointing 7-10 and out of the playoffs once again. I know a lot of people are pretty high on the Dolphins. I am not one of them. I think this is a one playoff team division with the Bills. I think it's going to be ugly, kind of awkward, and everyone besides the Bills are going to pretty much hate themselves after this season. All right, let me know what you guys think. Where was I right? Where was I wrong? What were my big misses? Am I crazy here saying the Patriots are only going to win 5 games? Am I too low on the Dolphins? A lot of people are super high on the Dolphins and Tua this year with those weapons. I'm just not buying it. I'm feeling pretty good about this Dolphins pick here. Love the Bills. I could have had them higher, almost had them winning 15 games, but 14-3 seems good enough. Jets kind of mediocre again. Watch Bill Belichick prove me wrong, prove the haters wrong. I said he's 5-12. Watch him win 10 games, find himself in the playoffs, and throw me for a loop on everything. But again, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. We are rolling through these things tomorrow. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out. NFC North. Yes, my Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to be breaking them down. I tried to be as fair and unbiased as I possibly can be. What is Aaron Rodgers going to do without Devontae Adams? We're going to break it all down tomorrow. NFC North leading us up to the NFL opener on Thursday with the Buffalo Bills at the Los Angeles Rams. Again, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Hit that like button. Share this video with your friends. It really helps the channel out a lot, and we will see you tomorrow.